is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling a little bit better than inflation. Hopefully you guys are feeling a little bit better than the Spider Qs. Beyond's doing good. Beyond's doing good. I was gonna go down my list, but the first one there, Beyond exceptional. But who else is exceptional? We got you guys piling in the house. Good morning, Al. We got Alex in the house, Babbitt, Bill, Brian, Chris, Christopher, Cindy, David's in the house. Good morning, Jay, Jenny, Jose, JT, Kevin. We got Chuck in the house. Good morning, Chuck. We got Martina. Good morning, Marissa. Good morning. Ron is joining us. Tanya, Terrence, Tony, Victor, Will. Whoa. Did I say that anywhere close? I don't know. Good morning, Win. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wally, maybe? I don't know. Chuck says, oh, no, Steven. DJ's okay as well. Well, sometimes settling is okay. Just settle. No Stephen King today. You stuck with me. Good morning, all my people in YouTube land. We got Jeff. Good morning. All the lurkers that are out there not commenting on YouTube. Good morning to all of you as well. Wale. Okay, Wale. That was going to be my fifth guess. But Wale. All right, I like it. Are you I've never seen your name before. Are you new to RLT? He says, yep, new about a few weeks in. Beautiful. Welcome. This is my first time getting to hang out with you. All right. Welcome. I like it. All right. So, SPY. We've got a little bit of a gap down on PCE. PCE came in hot. Again, that's kind of measuring consumer prices of what consumers are spending. And the Fed, I mean, again, since the notes that came out Wednesday, they're from 3 weeks ago. I have not seen, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have not seen a single positive report that came out since. And on the day that they came out, as far as the notes in the meeting, they're basically saying, we're going to throw all the pressure back to all the numbers. We're going to see how the numbers work and just be flexible, play it from there. I have not seen a positive number yet. Nothing yet. So that I think that pushes it a little bit more in the camp of maybe the 0.5 basis hike is back, or at least probably increasing in percent chance that happens. And that's not exactly the pivot that the market wants. Looking at the screen, so I do have this dotted line. We are opening up right below it, right? And we do have, that would be our VPOC in a little bit of a longer term basis. So still above it. That's probably the only hope I could give the market for right now. Otherwise, without knowing where that was on the chart, this would be a pretty hefty sell-off. I believe, was it, I don't know if it was the afternoon room or the room that we did before it yesterday, but let's do a quick Fibonacci as well on this move. Let's just see where we're at. It's off by a penny, I think. Let's see. All right, it's probably off by like 2 pennies. So we are gapping below the 50% retracement at this point. We have this one little volume area that maybe we get saved off of. Anything under, I would say, 395.23. So we have about 50 cents. That should take us down at least to the next VPOC. Again, I'm not saying Armageddon's here and the world's ending and all that stuff, but 391.45 would be the next target. And then we have to see how we go from there. If we cannot hold there, the next spot, which would give us a nice little retracement, is down to the 78. You guys know I don't really love the 78 retracement to try to play bounces. We do have a pretty good support there as well, though. And realistically, it comes down to about the 100%. So can we get back there? Maybe. Maybe. Right now, I think we're still in chop zone. I think we're still kind of going sideways. This is technically we gotta let's cut into the small time frame, because technically this is a retest gap, right? This is why today is going to be a little more confusing. Today is a retest gap. Technically, yesterday's candle is red. I get it. But all of that selling, I mean, the selling came early in the day. All of the buying for most from I think this is 11:55, so the last 4 hours and 5 minutes of the day essentially was all buying, and we've trapped anybody that was in there. So this is kind of a little bit of a gap and go. We'll see what happens at open. We still have 24 minutes till this market actually opens as well. So we'll see where we want to go, if we want to get up, but we are at, I would say, at a key volume area, and if we could get any type of balance, it's got to be there. If not, we probably have another $4 to the downside. But again, we're moving based off those numbers that were coming in. We got the Qs. Same thing. So all of the buying started around the same time, 11:55 yesterday. Everybody that bought from that time on is trapped, losing in their position today. They took a gamble that PCE was going to be decent, and they lost. They lost. Now they have to react, right? So let's see if we can take a look at how to play some of that reaction and try to capitalize on that. Let's do since we did it for the SPY, let's do a fib for the Qs as well. Again, probably off by a couple pennies, but 291. So the Qs are not even at the 50 yet. So at least the SPY has retraced a little bit longer, a little bit more at least. And again, some of the earnings that have been coming in on NVIDIA, even probably Apple, Microsoft, we've had some good numbers coming out, or at least good forecasts. This would be a little bit higher, but this gives us a little bit more meat on the bone for the Qs over the SPY. So we'll see if tech wants to go a little bit lower, but I don't mind shorting anything tech. Yes, sir, is in the house. Chuck says, looks like market didn't like PPI report this morning. No, didn't like is the nicest way to put it. Yeah. All right. Beyond Meat, they did have earnings last night. They had some surprise beats as well. So this one at least looks a little bit different than the market. I think Squared was the other one we wanted to look for too. But we have is it a VPOC up there? No. So the high end of this thing is going to be probably 1995. I don't know if this one gets bought up. Technically, this is 2 green days, so this would be some kind of retest. You could probably play a fade, especially if the pressure comes in the market. Otherwise, I'd be looking at maybe 1877 as our first spot to at least take something off the table. And then 1782. I just think if we're going to go short on something, there's probably some better things to short out there than Beyond Meat. So even though it does look a little bit different than the market, and it's gapping up, maybe it could come down a little bit. I don't know how I want to play Beyond Meat. We'll just run through the list. We'll see what else is out there. Yeti. Inside day from the enormous gap down, full on retracement yesterday. So that one I would say we could probably get some follow through to the downside on Yeti. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, I'd be looking for, if we could get any type of pop, that'd be tremendous. Shorting around, probably around 38.87 would be the best spot, but any green candle out of the gate that we could go down on, great. Let's take a break of a green candle. Yeti, though, keep in mind, Yeti is usually a little bit light volume. So spread's a little bit bigger, most likely. But that was a good retrace that traced all the way back. And playing that to the downside looks good. Pan W. Yeah, this is one of them I did a scalp on yesterday. But Pan W now opening below 2 VPOCs. We're below all of those VPOCs. Looks great. This one looks like a decent short, even though we're still inside yesterday's candle. So that's the only downside there. Otherwise, we do have a lot of room, probably back to 178.85. But that's probably pretty decently high, at least for now on my list. Overstock, nothing. Apple. We do got to get to Boeing as well. Boeing, Tesla looks interesting as well. Apple. Yeeks. Again, one little support here. We've already kind of hit that. That's going to be a little bit probably on the weaker side, but our first target would be, we didn't quite hit it. We were off by a little bit, but 146.66. That would be our first target. If that one breaks, then we have a trade. So if you guys think that can break, 143.45 is going to be the next level down. And then we have at least $2 in Apple. Nvidia. Still kind of hanging out there. And then first target would be 228.98. So let's see if we can play a little actual reversal. We got very close to the numbers that I wanted to get to yesterday. We didn't quite make it. We missed it by a little bit, but I'm going to scooch Nvidia up a little bit higher, try to play some kind of fade. Again, we are still inside yesterday's candle, but at least where the developing VPOC is, I believe we are below that. Yep. So we're below yesterday's VPOC and we're below the developing VPOC. I'm going to keep my eye very closely on Nvidia. And again, we should have some room. There's not a lot in the way, even down to yesterday's lows. But looking at maybe 228.94, that still gives us about $5 to the downside. You want to look at Amazon. AMZN. Yep. Amazon looks pretty decent too. Again, we have a little bit of maybe some type of support around 92.08. That's an older one. That one was already retested as well. So we don't really have that one to count. And then Amazon target for today would probably be about 89.68. So again, even though we do have some levels over here, technically they were already retested and hit, and now we're just kind of making our way back down. So if we could get some kind of buying, so this is technically a retest gap, right? But we are below that wick. I don't know if we get any type of green candle, short as high as you could. If we could get to 94.56, maybe a little lower than that, 94.49, that would be a tremendous place to look for a short. But again, we are below that, at least for now. I don't know what happens in 16 minutes from now, but we are below yesterday's candle, which looked like, you know what? Maybe we have a decent hammer setting up. And that hammer's not doing so well today. Plus we have all of the other previous VPOCs. Yeah, to me, I'd be going short. Max Payne. All right, let me take a look at Boeing real quick. Boeing, I believe, was still hanging out above $200 level, which is a psychological hold number. Wow, we made it all the way down to 242 now. Let's see if we can get a bounce. So my plan on Boeing, and I think they're down because of one of the Boeing planes got grounded or something like that. I don't know. Something to that extent. But let's see if we can get Boeing to short somewhere around 202.47. Essentially, this is what I'd be looking for. There we go. This would be bearish entry. I don't know where we would put stops yet, but I think somewhere around 207. That might be a little wide for a day trade. But that would be my kind of safe zone. And then, so let's stop. And then we would have target. First target for me would be about 195.78. So again, on a day trade basis, that wide of a stop doesn't make too much sense. So we kind of have to see how these candles form. but we're going to throw Boeing pretty high on the list as well. Boeing news was on the deal they made for immunity with the government. Relatives of victims are pushing for the deal to be avoided, and the government. The once Boeing does good, I've learned this about Boeing. Once Boeing starts running, it looks good. It looks great. You haven't had any news stories about Boeing, like a plane crash or just give it time. They are spectacular at just shooting themselves in the foot. They've seemed to do it pretty amazingly. Let's take a look at Tesla. Yep, we haven't done that one yet, Chuck. This is a swing trade that I was looking for in the afternoon room, kind of seeing if we can play a 10 EMA. That does not look like it's probably most likely going to be a cancel. Yeah, Tesla looks short, but we do have a few levels on Tesla. The first one being 194.78. That one was already hit, so that one I think is going to be a little bit weaker. 193.57. That was already hit. That's going to be weaker. We did not hit the 190.52 yet. So that would be we did actually over here. Yeah. Technically that one was hit. That's going to take us really to about I did buy some puts on Tesla yesterday. 173.31 would be my target. That would be a massive move if it happens today. I don't see that happening. And again, I would think that there's a little bit more chop involved. I'm just trying to get maybe a better target for Tesla where we could run today, but let me just see. I do like this one short. Even that one's going to take me to that's even lower. 163, so the 38% retracement. So we got this 190. That's got to be somewhere in my first target. So this 190.26, that would be a 23% retracement. That gives us about $5 to the downside if that breaks. I mean, honestly, there is not a lot of anything holding us back to about 173. So that would be my little bit of a longer term target. I'm going to be holding my puts probably for a decent amount of time until probably that bullish entry triggers. If we get above today's candle, whether it's today or next few days, I'll probably end up just closing out the put and just maybe even flipping that position. For right now, I do have the puts. I'm kind of letting it roll. But yeah, Tesla's going to be high on the list. It has a lot of room. Like I said, it has all those VPOC areas, but they were all already hit. And then we are opening again below, even with that. We're still in that wick, but below where that green hammer candle open, which is not a great open for him. Can we look at Meta? Yeah, I think there was another one or two I missed. C. Let's look at Unity. Oh, wait, hold on. UC. I thought it was Unity, Citibank, and Adobe. But I think it's just UC Adobe. Got you. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's take a look at Adobes. The Adobes. That looks like some people might be having a little panic attack. A little bit of cardio arrest. On this one actually probably, even though this gap looks horrendous, I think we actually might get bought up here. We are still hanging into a decent support level. So even your risk reward is actually going to be, I think, to the higher end of things. So I think this is a retest gap from yesterday. We are at some kind of support. And this one I would actually assume that we push higher. Or looking for some kind of a balance. So I don't know if this is going to be the best short out of the gate. And I'd probably actually look for that to be long. That's not even on earnings. Was this news? Yeah, some kind of news on Adobe. I believe. Oh, U.S. preparing antitrust suit to block Adobe plan to buy Figma. Okay. Don't be messing with Figma. I don't know what they do. Sheesh. Got Adobe. Let's take a look at Meta. META. Yeah. Yeah. They got this wide open gap to work with. I don't think Meta hits 153 today, but probably we'd be looking for somewhere around, maybe we get to 160.73. I do like the fact that we're below that one VPOC, so that one was holding us up for a little bit. Would this one be a retest? Not technically. No, we got almost two high waves, almost tweezers. This would be a candidate for, see if we get an opening bullish candle of some sort to take a breakdown of. I think that would be fantastic. But we are in that gap space now. So what essentially I would like to happen, and again, I don't know if this does happen. We'll see some of these opening candles, but something pushing up in here and then we kind of roll from there would be great. Eventually, I do think this gap is a fill. I think that's a massive move today if it does. I don't see that happening. But maybe we get down to 160. Jenny, what's up, Jenny? We got Square, aka Block, aka Profit Town. Nice gap and go. Again, we are at a little bit of a resistance though. So somewhere around 78. Target for today will probably be about $80.50. But yeah, relatively nice gap. It gives you about $1. It gives you about $2 to the higher side. If we can run into that little resistance, that's going to be a decent resistance on it though. So we'll see if it has enough to push through. If it does, then we're probably looking closer to $84.73, which again is a just absolutely massive move. So we'll see what happens on this resistance. Dow was down 400 points now. Yeesh. How low can you go? We're right at that. Man, it's crazy how stupid little dots on the chart just seem to be like, why is it being held up there? I don't know. Maybe because other people put their money there first. It's great. Yeah. So what I'm now that we're at the spot, we do have to see. This is going to give us a great level. Wherever this pre-market is, short underneath it. And that would probably be my spot. Hopefully, and it hasn't happened. I haven't seen the gaps really just pan out. They've been very, very tricky gaps, whether retracement or pullbacks. But in an ideal world, we could actually get bought up at open and then we roll again. That would be fantastic. I don't know where we actually open though. This market is just absolutely cranking lower. Yikes. All right, let's see. Any other tickers? In YouTube, hello there. Have you tried dark theme, dark mode for charts? Isn't it easier on eyes? I don't know. I'm nocturnal, so good question. No, I haven't. I've seen people. I actually don't like the darker one. For me, I like the brighter ones. That being said, I'll be blind within probably 5 years, so. You're probably right, but yeah, no, the white background is actually easier for me. The dark one, it always takes me a minute to try to reset myself, and maybe just because I'm not used to it, to be honest. We'll see. Airbnb. Not much there, but looks a little bit short as well. The entire market does. We saw Roblox having some kind of strength yesterday. And still hanging in the very lower end of the day yesterday. Still inside candle. If this thing breaks down, you probably have about 35.21 as targets. Palantir. Palantir, again, everything kind of looks the same. I think there's better plays in Palantir to short. Disney might be interesting. We do have some levels to maybe hold Disney up. If 99.08 breaks, then we probably don't have anything in the way until at least 96.25. Selling could get a little bit ugly today. If they're not going to buy this thing up at open and keep this thing up at open, I think we have a potential decent short day. Let's go back to the Tesla. Let's see if I can get a pre-plan. Oh, yeah, and I think there's a lot of Fed people talking today, too. We have consumer sentiment numbers at 10. Hopefully they didn't take the survey today. Yeah, hopefully they didn't take the survey when the market was down 400 points. Because that sentiment is going to be all bad. I don't think anyone woke up and said, yeah, I'm down 400. I feel pretty good. Tesla, let's go back to NVIDIA. Maybe we could set something up. Now NVIDIA is, again, we have the ranges. Meta might be actually the better play. I think Meta is going to be my top play. Tesla still has a little bit to go. And the only reason I'm thinking Tesla too is because we had the range yesterday that shouldn't break, and now we're pretty much opening below that range. But I do also have already puts on Tesla. Maybe that makes me want to sit back a little bit on it. But this pre-market is not fantastic. All right, so probably Meta. Boeing just got that 200 number, which is probably, again, probably a little bit of a spot for some kind of a bounce. Oh, yeah, Amazon too was really good. I did like the Amazon setup too. All right, so I'm going to go Meta, Amazon. Then I'm going to put Tesla and then Boeing and then NVIDIA. Those would be my options. Boeing does look good still. It just has that $200 number we're right in front of, which I could see as a bounce spot. Tesla's decent because we're below the spot that I was like, if it breaks here, I think we just go lower, and we're there. We got a couple more spots that could hold us up, but not too much. Apple's opening below the daily 200. Apple did look short, and it's been short for a little bit. Costco. So I think you do have some bearish momentum, and based on the daily chart, from what we looked at in the afternoon room, it did look like it was hanging on, and it has a lot of room to go. Costco, there might be some better plays out there than Costco potentially. You're just running in again. You're running into this big support zone that hasn't really been retested. So initial targets, if you're going to short this thing, would probably be 485.63. This is also a retest gap, and you are inside as well. So expect this to be hopefully some kind of a bounce spot. I don't know if we even come back for that full retest, but looking for about 490.22, somewhere in that zone to short will give you a little bit better risk reward. My goodness, we got 3 seconds left. Everybody on YouTube land, I love you guys. Make sure you guys hit the little thumbs up on the way out. Also, subscribe, like all the videos, do all the YouTube things, and we will catch all of you guys tomorrow.